What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this microphone that I'm using. It's a pretty cheap microphone that I purchased off of Amazon, and today we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you all the little features that it has. Obviously you could hear how it sounds. I think it sounds pretty great. I've already listened to it before. It sounds really good. So with saying that, let's get into the video. So the first thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to this microphone is the little switch on the back. It has two selectable polar patterns. If I flip it up, you're going to be able to hear it's a little more echoey and it's not as directional to me. If you flip it up, the reason for that is if there's several people in this area and we all have to use the same microphone like a conference call, it will pick up everybody and it'll sound decent as long as everybody's kind of close and projects their voice. But if I flip it back down, that's made for one person, either a podcast or doing like I'm doing now, talking to the camera. So that is what that switch is for. I think it's a pretty cool feature on a microphone that's this price range. Most of the time microphones don't have that feature, so it's very cool that this one has that feature. So the next cool thing about this microphone is it actually has a gain knob. It actually has two knobs. One is a gain knob and one is for the headphone jack, which we get into that probably the next little section. I'm going to get into that knob. But for here, we're going to talk about the gain knob. And what the gain knob does is just what it is it gives you control to turn it up, turn it down, and then put it where it needs to be. And it also, that gain knob is actually a mute button too. If I press it in, you're probably going to stop to hear me talking right now. You probably hear nothing. So yeah, you probably heard nothing right then. So whenever you click it in, the little light will turn red. And whenever that light turns red, that means you have no audio. Whenever it's green, that means there's audio. And you probably could see it over my shoulder too whenever I'm talking. And it went away whenever I pressed the button, and you probably couldn't hear me, or you obviously couldn't hear me either unless I throw a little audio in from the camera. So yeah, that is the gain knob. I think it's an awesome feature that you can just control your gain here on the microphone. That is really cool. Another thing, like I said, I was going to get into this microphone, which a lot of microphones don't have this, is it has a little headphone jack. Zero latency to the microphone to your ears. I can plug in headphones and right here, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and I could hear myself talking in real time with just this microphone. It don't have to go through my computer interface, none of that. It's straight to this microphone into my ears, and then obviously there's a knob to adjust the volume on that, which comes in handy. That's a big deal. Like I said, a lot of microphones don't have that, but this one does. That's a big selling point, especially if you're doing podcasts and you don't have a big, huge setup with interface and all the crazy stuff podcasters have. Not really crazy, but you know, all the stuff podcasters have. Sometimes it's nice to just have a simple plug-in into your ear. You could hear yourself talk. It sounds good. And then you can adjust the volume as well. So with saying that, another cool thing about this microphone is it's USB-C, meaning you probably have a bunch of cables lying around the house that you could use for this microphone. If you have a MacBook Pro, you just go to USB-C to USB-C and you're good to go. That's what I had to do to this one because the cable that came with it I think is only 3 feet, not long enough to do what I'm doing here. So I had a longer cable that's USB-C to USB-C, and I was able to plug it in and I was ready to go. It's simple. So having this USB-C is really nice, mainly because that's what everybody's going to, and it's nice to have everything USB-C and not some old attachment or some attachment that they made that you have to have that cable. So that is awesome as well. And the last thing about this microphone, which you see me holding it like a handheld microphone, it's not made to be held like that, especially if you're wanting to game with this microphone. This is not a good little setup to have. But one cool thing about it, which I will show you right here, is the bottom of this little stand that it comes with actually comes off. And the cool thing about this is you can put it on a desk stand or any type of stand, because this bottom, if it ever comes off, Jesus, it actually comes off. Which with that, you have your threads. Then you could put this microphone onto a desk stand, and then it'll float, and then you could be playing your game, talking to your microphone, and you are good to go. So that is actually cool. I really didn't know that until I was playing around with this microphone for a little bit, but that is cool that this comes off. Okay, now that I'm done with that, the only negative thing I have to say about this microphone is you probably noticed me tighten up these ends quite often, and once you have it set in place, you are good. But if you mess with it, like this, or if you move it quite often, you're gonna have to tighten these up. It feels like a lot. That's really the only thing, which obviously if you have it sitting up with a stand and you're good, these are not going to be a problem. But that's not even really a negative. That's just something I felt I had to mention because they kept loosening up every time I moved it. But I think anything will loosen up if you're moving it like that. I think any stand would do that. But anyways, that's really all I have to say about this microphone. It does sound good. It probably don't sound as good as it could have since I was moving around a whole lot. I was treating it as if it was a handheld microphone. So, it probably don't sound as good as it could, but just because of the way I'm using it. If I would have had it set up perfectly with a stand and all that, it sounds great. As you could tell, the microphone sounds good. So with saying that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The link for this microphone will be down in the description. Check it out if you are interested. And yeah, have a good day, and thanks for watching.